Baby, let me tell you. When I tell you your girl cuts up, honey. Amaryllis for days. You see that? Hi you guys, welcome back to my garden. So I've really enjoyed the lion fountain area, and I keep reminiscing to what it looked like from the springtime, the summertime we came in. We had a beautiful show in the summertime. Everything showed out, and I really enjoyed the lion fountain area, you guys. This is probably going to take me a few days to get everything together, but that's okay. But I'm going to invite you guys along with me as we go ahead and we get this area shaped up for the winter time. Because hey, why not? We definitely should be going out with a bang, right? A few weeks ago, we came in, we pulled out the myrtle evergreens. The myrtle evergreens are now in the sunroom where they've been being housed. This is going to be the year of the wreaths and the magnolias in my garden. You guys, I love a good theme, and I certainly love a good theme when you can definitely make it your own, pick different varieties. So I've used wreaths at my front entryway. We did some beautiful containers to flank the front entryway, and I showed you guys some of my tips and tricks on how you can save money when you're doing your containers for winter. Because let's face it, you guys, with inflation, it's hitting everybody hard. So I'm looking for ways to save money in my garden, and I hope that I can be an inspiration to show you some of the ways that I have found to save money throughout the years of gardening, because I've been gardening for years, you guys. I'm going to turn this beautiful area into my own personal wintertime oasis. I love to come out here. I love to sit down, enjoy coffee. I take Zoom calls out here, you guys. I have conference calls out here in the garden in the wintertime. What I'm going to do is we're going to start styling these urns. Now here I have a collection of urns that we brought in last year. We moved out some beautiful, big, huge terracotta pots. We took those terracotta pots and we stretched them along my fence line here, because I have a fence that flanks this entire area. It creates enclosure, because in my garden I like to have garden rooms. Things I regretted most was not having my garden set up on drip tubing. Now I've set plenty of my friends and family's garden up on drip tubing, but I hadn't actually taken the time to set my own garden up. So I think it's time that I do a little self-care for myself and go ahead and set this up, because you guys, I had a beautiful show in the summertime and I was out of town quite often, and that was one of the things that I regretted, was not having my garden set up on drip tubing. So let me go ahead and grab the drip tubing for us. Alright, so I have my drip tubing here. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, we're going to feed this down through the bottom here. Clean some of this out first. Alright, so I made my cut here, so let's go ahead and get some soil in there. We're going to place a wreath here. I have these gorgeous Amaryllis here. They're metal. I like them. They're versatile. I like to use this size right here on a small as well as a big container because it's very versatile. You don't have to, as long as it can fit in right here, then you're fine. You see that? So now one thing you can do is you can come in and you can use this just like this, shaped this way. And we are going to have these coming anchored. So we have our boxwood reef. Now we have this piece right here. You may be wondering, why am I using white lights instead of green? Because we're going to give this a twist. Okay, so we're going to come in. We're going to guide this up underneath. Let me take this off for a second. So we're going to feed these lights inside of this ball. Now this is the most time consuming part right here. We're going to unplug the fountain. We will get the fountain cleaned up probably in a separate video, but what I want to focus on right now is I definitely want to focus on putting all of my hardscape in place as far as my fountains here. You all know gardening is a work in process, so the garden is ever changing. So I'm not necessarily concerned that I don't have my fountain properly shut down. I will go ahead and shut all of my fountains down at the same time. But I am going to go ahead and unplug the fountain here because I want to give a test out just to give you guys a little sneak peek of what this is going to be looking like. So let's go ahead, find the cord. And I do like to keep my fountain cords red instead of trying to make them blend in, so you can actually see, you know, when you're cutting something, you see this red line here, you know, to go ahead and stop, versus it blending in, you know, you might not be able to see it. So let's go ahead, let's turn on this globe so you guys can get a little sneak peek on how everything is going to look. All right, now we have a sphere. Yes, honey. Baby, let me tell you. When I tell you your girl cuts up, your girl cuts up, honey. Years of experience, trials and errors. I cuts up, honey. But this ball, we can't have this out here representing like this, so we are going to be topping this off. So we'll head inside. Actually, you know what? I've had a long day. I'm getting ready to, we'll pick this video up tomorrow. Baby, look at this. Honey, we got amaryllis for days. You see that? So these are the amaryllis bulbs that we started. Let me set this down. It's heavy. Ooh. These are the amaryllis bulbs that we rebloomed. Penelope, ma'am. You're okay, mama. Sit down, girl. Sit down. Sit down. Good girl. Sit. Okay, now sit. Come on. Come on, sit. Sit. Penelope. Come on, girl. Good girl. No. You want to go back inside? Sit. Then come on, let's go. Then sit. Come on, girl. Okay, you guys, so these are the amaryllis bulbs that we rebloomed on 9/27. So I took you guys through the process where we planted them up, and now we are reaping the reward. As stated in that video, I wanted to plant these up in a beautiful arrangement around the time right before the buds went into bloom. Now, Also, previously on Garden Queen, we went in and we planted up a beautiful pot using an antique pot, and you guys, that is ready to bloom. So what we're going to do is bud it up just like this. You see these big healthy blooms? So this was from 927. These are our Amaryllis. So what we did was we literally came in, we took our old blooms, potted those up that we had sitting outside. The sun was able to provide them with energy. We kind of did a little bit of a cooling period, and what we did is we potted those up, and you guys can see we reap the benefits. So what are we doing, you guys? We're saving money. So a lot of these nurseries right now are really charging for amaryllis bulb because there has been a boom in gardening, which is great. It's so many people interested in gardening, but a lot of times what that does is it raises the price for us. Then on top of that, we're already dealing with inflation. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in, we're going to do an arrangement. Earlier we went to Home Depot and I was trying to find some true white poinsettia, not that yellowish kind of like creamy color, chartreuse, green, pale yellow. I mean a true white, and we found some at Home Depot. The only problem was they were not in good shape, so I did not want to waste my money on those. So what we're going to do is we're going to head in, we're going to do a beautiful arrangement, we're going to grab some pots, and we're going to get this display together, because you guys, where this is going to be absolutely gorgeous. Now all of these amaryllis bulbs are not going there because we have different colors over there. We have pink over there, we have red over there, we have red and white over there. We also have some that are not all the way bloomed out. So these are in its early stages right here, and I don't know how I'm about to get up in this. Let me take her inside first, and I'll come back and I'll get my plants. So I'm gonna take Penelope inside, then I'll come back, I'll get my plants, and then we'll meet inside. I hope y'all got y'all coffee because it's getting good, ain't it? Yes, honey, yes. Come on, girl. We have a beautiful show of amaryllis bulbs. As you all can see, we have one that's taller, and then they kind of go down from there. In order to make sure my blooms are getting even, they're not shifting towards the sun, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to be coming in and I am going to be turning this arrangement just like this. Now, this is going to be sitting on the sideboard, so it's not going to be that easy. It's going to be more like me picking this up, turning it around, setting it back in its place. That way, my blooms are going to come in very even. Now, although this is beautiful, and we could come in and just dress this up easy with some moss, we could use some pine cones, but we're going to elevate this because in my kitchen, I like to keep more of an upscale look in my kitchen. I like to put on a show on my kitchen. I like to have, especially on the sideboard, I love to have big displays of flowers for any type of event, and the holiday is definitely no exception to the rule. I'm going to slightly dress this up. We're going to use frosty ferns. And what we're going to do is we're just going to create a bit of elegance here. And so by doing this, it's going to be very easy for us because the only thing we're doing is we're literally coming in between the bulbs, and we are going to etch our frosty ferns right on in there. And it's going to be real simple, real easy to just come in just like this. And we're going to have our frosty ferns because we have some mechanics that we're going to be adding to this look. You guys, look at that. Absolutely 100% gorgeous. Amazing and beautiful. And once we get done and we break this arrangement down, our frosty ferns, we can then use them in our next arrangement. And I've done videos showing you guys how simple it is to break down your arrangement and go ahead and reuse the plants again, especially when you're doing indoor arrangements. All right, so now we're going to come in and I'm just going to break apart this frosty fern. Very simple and easy to do. And this is going to help hide our mechanics, you guys. Alright, so now keep in mind, this is Christmas, so I definitely want this arrangement to give a Christmas vibe. Now, after the Christmas season, I am one that will go in, I will break this beautiful arrangement down, and then what I will do is I will go ahead and just give my Amaryllis bulbs, if they're still in bloom, I will go ahead and I will give them more of a winter look or just a beautiful Amaryllis arrangement. So we have these beautiful lights, and the one thing that I like about these are copper. Now I have a copper kitchen, you guys, and I love that any chance and opportunity that I get to actually display any forms or hints of copper, I go in and I do it without fail. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this sitting in there. And if you guys are going to get into indoor arrangements, it's best to go ahead and start doing things like getting your candles, because we could have came in and also used some beautiful candles that would have definitely gave us the look that we're going for. And so with these, we're just roughing these up. Same thing here. You kind of just want them just going around, and we're coming in and we are roughing these up. You're gonna have that nosy person that want to stick their business all down in your situation, because they want to know, is this real? Because again, it's the wintertime, guys. We're not supposed to have beautiful big plants and blooms. I don't know why not. There's one thing to have a house plant, but it has flowers on it too. So you come in with your dial. Now, what I like to do is I paint up a couple of dials at one time. Only thing I'm doing is I'm coming in just like this. And I'm going to make sure that I'm not getting my Amaryllis bulbs. And you can actually have your lights coming layered just like that. But if you're doing that, you're going to have to wrap your dial a little bit. If it's too tall, you can easily come in and just give it a snip. So remember again to go away from your bulb, and you want some of these to stick up. Okay, there we go. That's more of what I'm looking for right there. Okay, just like that. You see what I'm saying? A little bit higher. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to come in, same thing right here. We want to take our dial and we're going to just stick it down in the soil here. Again, we're avoiding our bulbs. Just like that. And you can do these. I don't really fuss with these too much. I just don't like them to be just all spread out. Okay. Same thing on the end. Now, by looking at this, I can already tell this is too long. So I'm going to come in and just make a quick snip. Alright, so now I shorten it just a tad. I'm going to go in right here on the side. And what this is going to do is, if your Amaryllis bulb starts to move around, it's going to make it a lot easier to have something to tie it to. And we're going to just, again, same thing here, just push this down. Now, what you can do is you can take some sheet mulch and you can come in and you can cover up your mechanics. I said sheet mulch, but it's not sheet mulch, it's sheet moss. I've used sheet moss. I've used pine cones to cover them up, meaning that you have this black box here. So you have a black box that comes with these lights. So what I've done is I've taken and I've put big pine cones on there, covered them up. I've actually came in, I've spray painted boxes, I've taken fabric, laid fabric down in there. You guys, the possibilities are absolutely 100% endless when it comes to flowers. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this in place. We got to go over the top because we're what over here on Garden Queen? The gardenaires, meaning you all, the gardenaires, gardener. Because if you have flowers in your life, or if you're gardening, it's going to add some type of enrichment. So I have coined the term gardenaire. So as gardenaires, we're going to go over the top. We're going to be extra. So let's get this in its place. This is the part that I hate because you guys, it would have been so much easier to do this right there on the stand. But sometimes the lighting just is not right. But baby, this thing is heavy. And there's nobody here to help me get it in place. So you got to use them legs. This is how you get them strong knees so you can, woo, drop it like that. You see what I'm saying? That's how you get them strong knees. So when you need to come in, you can, hey, hey. Okay, pray for me. All right, gardener down. Let's go ahead and top off our look. So here it is in its place on the sideboard. I added a faux ilex berry. We're going to add another one right here as well. We're going to make sure we avoid the amaryllis bulbs. And then we also add another one, another faux ilex pick for a total of 3. You can see that when we turn the lights off, everything is illuminated and the amaryllis bulbs is just going to slightly be above the top of the arrangement.